Welcome to Fallawsophy. I'm your host, Jennifer Fallaw-Doering, and today, I don't know what we're going to talk about. We do have some Gentel that I put out yesterday, and if you did not catch me on Real News Live with Mike and Jen on Rumble, we're going to go over it again. I don't really have anything else new, so what we're going to do is go to the chat and find out what you guys want to know. Now, I was going to tell a story about something that was said to me in meditation, and that but it's too emotional, so I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to do that another day. Wow. I mean, it just usually over time with this RV thing, those of you who are interested in that, it was like we would get somewhere and then nothing. Get somewhere, then nothing. We'd hear this, and then it's like, and everybody's running around going, oh my God, is it real? Is it happening? And something would screw it up and delay it again. I haven't seen anything screw it up. I mean, and that leads me to believe that, yeah, we are really there. Aside from what I received from the divine, real world contacts, incarnated, they're saying that too. So I'm extremely hopeful and excited. But there's a little something that I want to tell you guys about Susan Gretz, Marcy Howell, and I. And I don't remember if Marcy started up this group or if I did. When we got on Telegram, like my philosophy chat group, Marcy actually owns that because I couldn't figure it out and she figured it out and she set it up for me. So we always are doing things together somehow over the last, I don't know, 10, 12 years. And Susan's always in the mix somewhere too. We had a big, and we still have it. If you want to join that one, we'll probably do free work there after the RV as well. We used to do all our work for free, and then, the economy and life and everything else got in the way, and we had to start charging. That's just the way it goes. If you want to keep doing something, you got to make a living. But we've always looked forward to the time, and I'm including Susan in this. I haven't really talked to her about it yet, but I'm sure she'll be on board. We've always looked forward to a time when we could go back and do that again and not have to worry, not have to charge, not have to do any of that. So on Facebook and also on Telegram, we have a group called Free Psychic Readings, Beacon of Light. That's basically where I started doing readings for other people for free. And there was a time on Facebook when that group was about 25,000 people. So I posted the link. Let's get over here to our banners. I posted the link to join that group on Philosophy on Telegram. And when the day comes, we'll probably start working in there now when I get time. But you're going to want to be there. And I believe it's a private group, so that we always do it that way. So especially if we did it on Facebook as a private group, Free Psychic Readings, Beacon of Light. You can request to join that too, just so like your boss and your mother-in-law and everybody else doesn't see what you're saying on there, unless they're a member. So I've been trying to figure out how I was going to handle all this, because I can't just stop. I just can't stop being me just because, I've got funds to retire. It's never been about that. But that's where I would like to continue with free work. And the way that normally works is you ask, um, we'll have to put up some rules. I don't know if we did, Marcy. We set this up a while ago, but I can't remember. I don't know. Totally self-involved. Um, but the way it worked back then is that you would ask a specific question and post a picture of yourself. And then whoever was available and had time to get in there and do free work would go down, and they would either approve the post or go down from the posts in there. And I hope we've got it set up so that they can post. We'll work out the kinks. But I'm thinking I'll just continue in there with the readings, and then on the shows with the readings. And if there's a client and a longtime client who wants to come to me privately, you just email me and tell me. We'll work that out. And of course, I'll still do the healings and everything like that. But I'm going to be more focused on shows and writing, teaching, because that's my humanitarian project. I love that. Okay, so free psychic readings, Beacon of Light on Telegram. The link is posted on Fallawsophy on Telegram. Join that group. Everybody get over there. Be in there. And I think it was Marcy's idea to get that going again. So she'll probably be in there more than I am. But well, I don't know. Susan might join us. I don't know. Kind of putting her on the spot, but it's going to be it's going to be like we'll pop in when we have time and catch up and answer as much as we can. Now it's always going to be whatever, and we may recruit some of my students to be in there over time. But it's always going to be whatever post they feel drawn to, and as many as they have time for. So one specific question, post a picture, and that's how we do it. Gentle. Get over to that's fine. All right. So this is interdimensional meditation for 6/24/24. Got it yesterday by Jennifer Fallaw-Doering. Destination always is the 6th level of heaven. I don't know why it's the 6. I never liked the number 6 because of the whole 666 and raised Catholic and all that. So it's like what? Can we go to level 5? I mean, why is it the 6? Well, it's a vibrational level thing. Okay. And I met with Archangel Michael, Gabriel, Haniel, and Raphael in my field in front of my tree. RV News. Gabriel says they are ready to begin Tier 4. They are making changes to the notification system. They're really making sure that is everything it needs to be. And he said that could be done in a day or a week. You know how it is when you got somebody working on a computer system and something as large as that. Oh yeah, it'll be done 24 hours. 4 days later. It is important to ensure, and he actually said these words, so I don't know if they have dual meaning. It is important to ensure swift delivery and security. The other tiers are at or nearing completion. The previous tiers. There are a few loose ends, but most work is in the hands of clients and those who manage fund delivery. So, I'm always trying to get a win because everybody's always asking me when. And I understand that, because I'm always asking when too. But so I asked, when is my exchange appointment scheduled for? And of course, just side note, Even the great Sylvia Browne, trendsetter for all of us who receive guidance and pass it on, told everybody that she wasn't psychic for herself. And so the problem with receiving information for yourself is that you are personally involved, and you can put words in their mouth, and you can hear things you want to hear, and not hear things that you don't want to hear. So grain of salt with this one. But I asked, when is my exchange appointment scheduled for? Haniel said July 7th. And I'm like, 7/7? That's kind of divine. That makes sense. For me personally, that kind of does. And he just smiled at me. Gabriel, then he actually put his hand on my shoulder because I was thinking and we were talking. He said, hold steady and be strong. And I said, God wins. And he says, always. So when we receive good news and they look at you and they tell you be strong and hold steady, sounds to me like we're going to get a wave of misinformation thrown at us, or possibly a lot of confusing stuff. Stick to what you know. Stay strong. Don't believe the naysayers. All right. So then I did the In the News segment with them this week. And this kind of information is going to come in as bullet points. So they may be connected or not. Sometimes I see scenes. I hear words. And of course, in my own mind, in my own voice. I don't hear any voices outside of mine. And sometimes I think I've over the years assigned kind of a masculine, voice to them, but it's always in my own head, and in my thoughts. Okay. So that's what's going to happen with this divine guidance. It's going to come through your filter. It's going to come through your brain. You're going to translate it. And the goal in getting things correct is getting out of your own way and practicing over the years and knowing what truth feels like, knowing what half truth feels like, and then spitting it out and being brave. So this is in the news this week. Explosions. Michael, that's not positive. And then I heard bottle rockets. So I don't know. After that, we saw news of explosions of buildings and things like that in other countries. I didn't actually see the explosions. I heard explosions. Then I heard bottle rockets. Well, we're coming up on the 4th of July. Those are going to be available to people. And if we've got minions coming out of the woodwork to try to create protests and chaos, disguised as patriots or something like that, it'd be pretty easy for them to blow something up with one of those. Those are major. I've seen one blow up in a trash can when we had the we used to have these block parties on 4th of July when the kids were little down the street with these great people that lived on the corner. Everybody, and it was just like an intersection, and we'd just block off the intersection and have this huge party. Well, they would get all the fireworks from the reservation and stuff, and so they had these bottle rockets. And like one time, I'm like, let's stand back. So I'm always way back here, and the thing it did not go up. It went off in that trash can, and that's pretty major. Definitely could lose some fingers from that. All right. So first bullet point, explosion, bottle rockets. Keep an eye out for news on that. Now, in the news this week, this is what you and everybody listening to me is going to hear from our channels or in the mainstream media. It's what we're going to see. Okay. Second bullet point, last days of the dollar. People are going to start talking about that. We're going to start seeing more news about that. Of course, we've always been talking about that, but I'm like seriously talking about that. Then this one, rough seas oil tanker. So keep an eye out for anything like that. I'd like to say that these bullet points aren't random and they're related to what we're looking for. Related some way to the plan, the operation, the RV. Or something that we need to be on the lookout for and to be aware of. Lightning strikes is the next bullet point. So check the weather if you're going to be outside, if you're going to go to a big event, and that's typical in your area. Make sure that, I don't know, lightning strikes. Okay, this one's fun. Biden leaves early. Info found. So we've got a debate coming up. I really don't know what's going to happen with the debate. I really don't care. Because it's fun to watch. I mean, I see no point, really, in Biden or whoever the hell that is debating Trump in front of people. That's just good TV. That's just entertainment right there. This is so unmatched. I mean, like, that'll be fun if that happens. But it says Biden leaves early, info found. So I don't know if that's related to if he walks off stage. But info found is interesting. Could it mean that he leaves office early? That'd be cool. We'll see. Now, this is good. And it matched up with Baratel that Mike Barra got yesterday on his show. And in the morning, I usually send him the Gentel. But like when I get in the news, sometimes I don't. And yesterday I was like, I'm not going to send that off to him before the show, just in case he has anything, and then we'll know this is clean, So you're going to want to go back and watch that show if you missed it, because it was kind of cool. So this bullet point, the rest of the world is ready to begin the rollout. Western civilization takes the blame for globalism and the delays. Delays in the RV. And I kind of got a sense when he was telling me this, the information flows in and feelings and pictures and I actually heard Gabriel tell me this. The rest of the world's ready to begin the rollout. Western civilization takes the blame for globalism and delays. So it sounds like the USA is the one who's been holding this up. Well, probably good for good reason. Where do you get your RV window? When everybody else goes to gold, even if it's behind the scenes and the US has not? That's right, there's your RV window. So it could be part of the plan. But it could also be part of the plan to expose that this central bank cabal, everybody thinks, they're centered in, England or whatever. Maybe they're not. They're centered here. Then the next bullet point. Now this sounded like bucket stocks. And he was talking before that I didn't hear it clearly enough, but he was talking about something about stocks rising. And then he said something that sounded like bucket stocks. And that might tie into the last bullet points. No, I skipped one. There's a bullet point between Biden and the rest of the world ready to begin stocks and hyperinflation talks. And then we get down here and it says, and we go into the rest of the world's ready to roll out. Western civilization is blamed for globalism and delays. And then we get into bucket stocks. And the last bullet point is release of funds. That's good. Let's release funds. Let's do that. Um, so this has been, well, not as long for me, long enough, a long wait. I mean, the whole thing, really. I mean, I remember before the 2020 election, I was into watching like Fox News and before I knew any better. And I was so tired of all the fighting before that election and all the crap throwing and everything else. And oh, thank God. The election is here and Trump's going to win and we don't have to deal with this anymore. Remember all the impeachments and all that crap? What are they doing now? Same shit. So I was thinking, okay, we're going to get this done. We'll move on. We'll do all these wonderful things. Sorry, yay, we're good. And then, like, all of a sudden, they stole the election. And we're like, okay, so what do we got? Like a couple months? Got a couple months until this is going to happen. And everybody thought, okay, watch the inauguration. Everything's going to, go down then. And we're like, okay, so do we got like a couple more months? Is that all it is? We're like kids in the back of the car. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? And the other day I told a story that when I was a kid and I lived in San Diego and we would go to Disneyland, I don't know, once, twice a year at least. But when you're a little kid, you're like kindergarten. You're sitting back in the back of the car. I don't know why we never had air conditioning anywhere back then, but no air conditioning, you're just like, oh my God, it's endless 2.5 hour journey to get to Anaheim, to get into Disneyland. And for us, that was the best day ever. But my parents, college educated people, really smart though. I mean, like street smart too. My dad was kind of a MacGyver guy, and my mom was just like really smart. Anyways, so she would just say, well, they tell you how to go somewhere and they'd always give you landmarks. Well, look for this. Look for the big tree with the, broken limb or whatever, or this building or that store. And so along the way, they said, well, when you see this, we're a quarter of the way there. And when you see this, we're halfway there. But when you see the Matterhorn, you know that that's where it is, and that all we really have to do is get off the freeway, get into the parking lot, and through the gate. And last week, the Matterhorn had been spotted. Announcement: the Matterhorn has been spotted, people, and that's where we are, and we are almost there. We just got to get that notification ticket, park the car, stand in the stupid line, and today, have them strip search you and everything else they want to do before you can even go in there. It's probably not that bad, but I don't like people going through my purse. There's nothing in there, but, well, everything's in there, but it's just rude, Anyway, so all we got to do is get through that gate. That's all we got to do. We're just waiting for notifications now. They're working on the system. They want to make sure everything's good. They've got enough money in. Previous Gentel told you that we were looking for Janet Yellen. Saw her hair, and heard her name, and said that she needs to sign off on funds received into the Treasury. And that's from the historical bonds and everything, so that we can proceed with the RV. What did we get? We got news, and I don't care what the story was about that. Who's in the news? Janet Yellen. Signing for some funds. We're ready. So, now it's just back down to management. All right, is the system running good? All right, have we gotten all the kinks out? Are we going to be, if we put this notifications out, are we going to have a problem? Because that's a big problem if that happens. We got everything staffed. Are we ready? That's where we're at. That's where we're at. We do know that we've heard from through the grapevine, possibly, maybe, from brokers who are waiting on commissions. And then we've heard from those people that, yeah, they're supposed to get paid like today or tomorrow, something like that. Okay. So if they got their commissions, what does that mean? And the clients have been handled. The job has been done. So move on to 4. All right. So all that information is in the past as of Monday. And after Monday, and we've been getting confirmations of all that. Just take a look around. Listen. If you're not on Telegram, I don't know how you found me. But if you're not on Telegram, get over there. That's where all the good stuff is. That's where everybody's talking freebie. I don't know what the hell's going on with Facebook, but it's starting again. I can't even post a link to my show with, it's probably Mike. He's probably like flagged in some way. But I can't post a link to that show in my own private Beacon of Light radio group over there. All right. I've been posting this link every Monday and Wednesday forever. Now it's not okay. And they've been removing posts. They're doing it again, leading up to this election. Get on over to Telegram. We're all speaking freely over there, as much as we can. Okay. Let me get over to the comments. View 2. Here we go. Do not quit your job. Okay? I see a baby there. Okay? You know what? Remember what it was like? I don't know if that's your baby or your grandchild or whatever, but there's times when you got babies that everybody's sick and you've been up for days. This is where I was. And then you'd find yourself sitting down in the middle of the night in the nursery on the floor, rocking 2 of them at the same time, crying because you haven't slept in 3 days, okay? And you're sick too? Can you quit? No. They will get well, and it will be better. But right now in this economy, until such time as you have funds in your hand, you keep what you got. Okay? Because we are there, and the way I understand it is once you start this rollout, you can't stop it. But we just never know. I mean, we could go to war and have, we don't know. We don't know what's coming. I try my best, but we don't know. So it's business as usual until it's not. What did he tell us? What did he tell us? What did Gabriel say? Hold steady. Be strong. God wins. You're going to have to hang in there a little bit more. Yes. Sometimes people are jerks. Those people will not matter later. You're almost there. The Matterhorn has been spotted, people. All right. Now, the delay in reading these is because I'm blind. Okay? And if I put the ugly glasses on, probably better. All right. Let's put the ugly glasses on. There's a glare on these. All right. So no smart ass comments with that. They just say our bifocals. I don't want to talk about it. It's not even better. Oh, that's okay. All right. I'm having deja vu. We've done this before. Well, just bear with me. It's not that I can't read. It's that I can't see all the words. I'll just start randomly clicking on things. Make it bigger. Yeah. That's going to be so much fun, isn't it? I was just talking with a friend about it yesterday, and we were talking about stuff that we would do. And I'm just, you know what? I'm going to do my thing because I have a lot to learn and I have a lot to teach. and I love doing what I do, the healings and all that. Um, but I'm gonna be like a secret angel, you know. I might even have a group of secret angels. I don't know, but I'm gonna go around and do things in such a way that people won't know it's me, of course. But like go down to the school district and say, "How many kids you got?" Well, I'd like to give each and every one of those families $1,000 gift card to Walmart, and I've talked to the manager over there, and but I want you to send them out, and I don't want anybody to know who I am. Can you imagine when I was that age and the kids were in elementary school? I mean, it was tight. I did everything I could. I was widowed. We got that income, survivor benefits, but it was tight. Anything extra, somebody like lost a shoe, and I'm just like, oh my God, this is a major hassle now. Can you just keep the shoes on your feet? Thank you. So I supplemented. I did everything I could. But if somebody walked up to me before Christmas and handed me $1,000 Walmart card, I would have been like, I would have cried. Well, thank you, God. You know, now I don't have to go to the check cashing place and get the extra $300 until so that I can finish the shopping or get it off. Oh, that's what I'll do. I'll go to Walmart, and if they still have layaway, because we used to put stuff on layaway, I'll just pay everybody's layaway. Yeah, that'd be so much fun. I can't. That's my favorite thing to think about. That's awesome. I don't know if I'll get to see the results, but then you got to just do it in a way that doesn't end up on the news, and then everybody's looking for you. I'll figure it out. I don't know if you guys watch Bridgerton. I have some obsessive problem. Okay, I am so addicted to Bridgerton on Netflix. I don't watch anything else on Netflix because it's all evil. I mean, this is probably is too, but I just like try to forget about all that and like just act like the royal family and everything like weren't like some blood sucking vampires and just get into the story. Oh my God! And the whole lady whistle down thing. I want to be like that. Like maybe I'll just get somebody to go in as my secret angel agent, and then I'll just fund it. I'm so excited. I can't wait to do that stuff. Because everybody thinks about debt and student loans and stuff. Well, that's going to be handled. But you don't think about like the every day to day stuff and what it's like, especially somebody who's alone. You know, and there's always oh, okay. Let's all take a moment and see if this comment fits in with what I was just saying. Okay, give it a minute. Let's soak in. Yeah. Dude, you really need to get right with Jesus. Okay? Pretty fast. Anyway, do my mods want to get on that one? It's the same person. Yeah. I really feel sorry for this person. You know what? Mental illness is a big problem in today's society. And I really do hope that when all these humanitarian projects come out, somebody helps you out. I really do. I'm always constantly surprised that you're left unsupervised with internet access. That's what shocks me. Okay. Let's get to some other questions. No, I haven't watched The Empress, but I have watched the Bridgerton. Like this, I was waiting so much for season 3 to come out. There's some kind of obsessive thing I have with this. It's not really the storyline or the actors or anything. It's the scenery. You know, it's the dresses and it's the architecture. And there's something. It's past life had to have a past life in England, because when I see anything that's got the English countryside in it, or in that area, like the gardens and stuff, like I'm just in awe. Like it's a homesick feeling. I just love. I've watched it a million times over and over again, and I so much so that I actually hide that I'm watching it now because people, the family's like, "Are you watching Bridgerton?" And I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. It's my happy place, you know. All right, let's get to some questions. All right. Jen, my daughter has become estranged from our family due to past issues causing division. She has a daughter we never get to see. Will this be resolved soon? Well, we don't have no picture. You're actually going to hear from her in a few weeks. There's going to be an issue. I don't know if she's going to need assistance or what, but nothing like nothing bad, right? Not really. You'll have an opportunity. Sometimes one person needs to stand up and choke it all back for the better of the family, or you know, and be the one to say, hey, can we start from here, you know? Because if it all comes down to it and one of those people on either side is gone, you just don't realize how much you would want to do that, you know. And I wish I could say that to your daughter, because the young people, you know, they don't get that yet. They just don't get it. But there will be an opportunity soon to the Empress. I haven't watched that. I should watch the Empress. I have a problem. I'm serious with that. And most of the time it's on. Bridgerton is on. I watch other things too, but not much. It's rare for me to sit down for a whole movie. It's hard to get me to sit in one spot. I'm just scrolling through these comments. But usually, like, I'll have Bridgerton on if I'm stressed out, or if I just want it on in the background while I'm scrolling through my phone. All right, so let's talk about this. Julia Assange was released without a gag or shut without a gag order? Scott, really? Because I was holding off on that. Because I'm like, wait a minute, let's find out if that's real. Let's find out if it's really happening. We've heard so much about things like that over the years with him. Let's think about that. Gabriel, join me in this. Why was he released now? Oh my God. Because he has the files to back up what the world is about to learn. This is going to be fun. I don't know how long it's going to take for that, but this is going to be fun. I'm going to love that. Okay, Karen Cross. Grandson is autistic and he is missing a chromosome. Okay, so when's our med bed? When can Brian get into a med bed? Okay, about 14 months. He is a severe case. It will be classified that way, not like on death's door severe case, but Um, but he's going to go in with the public, I think. So for whatever reason, I don't know if you can get him straight in with with an RV pass. Limited number of RV passes. Okay, so best date I can give you is probably 14 months. And so let's see, will that yeah, yeah, it's gonna fix him. God, thank God for that. Wow. Now there's gonna be people with these med beds along the way, they're gonna have a problem with it. I've said that all along. Some people are gonna say, well, I don't want to play God. Some people are gonna say, what if it kills me now? What if I come out with like a tail or whatever? What if it like possesses me somehow? What if they reprogram my brain when I'm in there? Everybody's going to have all kinds of reasons why it doesn't fit in with their belief system or they don't trust it. So that's going to take time for the public to get into these things. And some people say, well, if I'm supposed to be healed, then God will heal me, or they'll go to a healer like me and do that. Well, okay. There's a lot that I've learned about healings over time. And am I pretty successful at it? Yeah. In being a vehicle for it. But you have to remember that nothing divine is forced, and you cannot go against somebody's free will. Now, somebody may be screaming, yes, I want to be healed. Yes, I want to be healed. Yes, I want to heal. But they're holding on so tightly to the doubt that healing is creation of that healed state. Positive, high vibrational energy creates. And this is what I will eventually learn enough to write about, learning about now. God-centered conscious creation. So when I'm trying to do that now, I have to believe as strongly. Like, why was Jesus so good? He had no doubt. Bigger piece of God right there, but he had no doubt. He wasn't bombarded by all these statistics and other cases and everything else going on in the world that we are constantly bombarded with everywhere we turn because of the technology of the day. So, I mean, yeah, he had people around him who believed certain things, but, he was in communion with God. I mean, he believed. He got out of his own way. He was God incarnated. Piece of him, big, big piece of him. So when you try to do it as a healer, you really have to get out of the way. You have to say, why not? And you have to be a clean vehicle for that to flow through. And you got to love that person, even for just that moment. Because if you're judging that person and if you don't really believe that this can be done, you're getting in the way. One rock after another, one wall after another. And so you do the best you can and you let God's healing flow into that person. And then you have to believe. And then that person's doubt chips away at the creation. So it's like you've got an old-fashioned scale. On one side, you've got positive energy and creation. On the other side, you've got doubt and fear and negative energy. And that chips away at the creation. And sometimes you end up with something in the middle. The dark side knows that. And that is why they have put confusion, doubt, fear, constantly bombarded by fear everywhere you turn. Used to be a time where you could actually watch a show or a movie that didn't have some agenda or didn't like scare the crap out of you or wasn't dark and twisted and scary and depressing. Get me started on that. But the dark side will insert this into society and has from the very beginning. What did they start with? Religious texts. It's not that the truth isn't in there, it's just that they have manipulated and twisted the words to pull you in, to tell you the truth. But then they confuse you by saying, oh, you're loved unconditionally. Oh, yeah, great, let's go to church. And they're like, well, but, if you don't come here all the time and put money in our basket, and if you don't do everything that we say, us men over here in this corner that wrote all these rules, you're going to go to a fiery pit of hell, and God's not going to love you. And we're like, wait. Okay. But I thought we were loved unconditionally. No, only if you're good. See the confusion? And that confusion creates separation between you and God. And then what did Jesus tell you? The truth. They manipulated his words too. I mean, we got baby Jesus and then we got 32 years old. What happened in between? Where's that? I can't wait for that to come out. Because that's probably all the teachings that would teach us to be closer and to eliminate those walls and those rocks in our stream. Yeah. Anyway, let me get to your questions because I think I got wait a minute. Let me see. God, the hour goes by so fast. I need to do a 2-hour show. I just don't have time for that right now. Oh, we're good. We're good. What's this? Watched a few episodes with my wife, but I'm not into it. Stranger Things. See, I don't watch anything that what I'm looking for in my life is like, okay, it's time to relax now. Let's watch something peaceful. Let's watch something that doesn't mean anything. Let's watch something that isn't like upsetting and get me on some kind of emotional roller coaster, so that I don't watch anything dark or depressing or tragic or anything like that. Saw the reviews on I don't give a crap what you think about the reviews. People love that show. I mean, people were waiting for season 3 for like 2 years, and then they're like, okay, that's only when we watched it. 10 times maybe. And then, but then they told us the next season's like 2 years. I'm like, all right, I'm done with this. I'm breaking the addiction to Bridgerton. Okay, here's the question. Lewis. Let me ask Michael because I don't have a name here to call her in. That takes a little more time for me the way I do it. She can hear you and she knows about something about you or somebody being estranged. Not really to worry about this right now. You're on the right path. Just keep going. All right. Rewiring in Utah? First of all, stay the hell out of Utah unless you live there, because every time I drive through that place, and before I even knew anything about anything, we would go down to Vegas and San Diego through that way. From through Montana down that way. I'm driving through there and I'm like, what is this like toxic metal weird something under the ground vibe that I'm getting here? I just can't stand it. I got to get out of here. What the hell? There's major stuff going on underground in Utah, by the way, at least around Salt Lake City. I have no idea what you're talking about this time. That's probably something we should discuss privately. Was he? Julian was the recipient of the files copied from the DNC servers by Seth. Oh, okay, so that's confirmation. My only question is if he's been incarcerated, like, are those hidden somewhere? Or did they take it from him? Info found. Oh my goodness. This is getting fun. That info found. And then somebody says documents found. So in our bullet points for in the news this week, Biden leaves early, info found, and then all of a sudden they decide to release Assange. Hey, we're getting somewhere. We are getting somewhere with this on both ends, political and financial. All right. Okay, did that. All right, what do we got? Okay, Marta, update, daughter, meeting soulmates, love of her life, spring, summer. We're on schedule. He's kind of slowing it down, but basically on schedule for that. Probably about a month, 6 weeks. You're going to hear something about that? What do you see for me in the future? There's a lot in your future. I mean, as humanitarian projects. Not sure if I want to run them or be the backer for them. Hopefully my currency can help back. Andy. You're going to run a project. This one thing my friend and I were talking. He owns a very successful, large business client of mine, but for so long he's a friend. I was just telling him yesterday that what people don't realize, if they've always worked for somebody else and they want to go into this humanitarian project, okay? And some of these projects are bigger than bricks and mortar businesses. What you don't realize is that that's going to be 24/7. Owning your own business is 24/7. The thought, the work, you don't keep normal hours. Oh, yeah, do you have the freedom to take off when you want? Not all the time. No. You're like, oh, okay, well, I'll just get this done. I'll just get that. Well, I got that meeting and this meeting. Now I got to take care of this. And then a month and a half is gone by. Now, can I take a day off now? Maybe. It's a lot of work. And what you don't know about me is, that's what I used to do before I stopped working and was widowed and stayed home with the kids. I mean, basically, the last project I had was to take not the last one time before that, was take a failing business and fix it. I went to school for 7 years at night and took nothing but business classes, never got a degree. Stupid. But I don't care because what I was looking for is the knowledge, because at the time I was trying to save a business, and I did. And the reason I left there is because the owner wanted to get rid of the partner and said, I'm sorry, we're making too much money now. I'm never going to get rid of the partner. You need to take a dive. And I'm like, not on my watch, buddy. And I left. But I was raised in a business from a long line of people all around me who had their own business. I guess it started with my Nana, Lillian. Looks like Marilyn Monroe, beautiful woman. Born 1912. She had a beauty shop in the 30s in Minnesota by herself. My grandfather, Papa, he had a toy store. I think it was the 40s. And then in San Diego, and then he had Mogan Associates Real Estate. And then my uncle had a printing business. My mother had her own beauty shop that they built on the end of my home. I used to sit there and paint the little old ladies, the LOL. When that came out as Laugh Out Loud, my mother was terribly confused because that's what we used to call little old ladies when they come and make an appointment to get their hair done. Shampoo set. So, mom had a beauty shop, ran a business. Sent us all out with flyers all over town to put on cars and everything to bring them into Kathy's Curls Beauty Shop at the end of my house. Then she got divorced from my father, who worked for General Dynamics and Roar as a graphic illustrator. And then she got together with my stepfather, spawn from hell, who owned a very, pretty good sized manufacturing business, kitchens, bathrooms, countertops. He ran his household that I went to live in like a business. You'd be shocked. So I lived in a business. It wasn't just because I went to school, and it wasn't just the jobs that I have. I was raised that way. And what you don't understand about some of these projects, you better prepare yourself, or you better get a team to do it with you. And you better make sure that your heart is really in that is your passion, so you enjoy it, because it's going to be a lot of work. It's going to be fun work. There's going to be a lot of work. And there's going to be a whole bunch of stuff that you don't anticipate that's going to go along with it. And I'm not trying to discourage anybody from doing a project. I think that you should, but just be prepared. If you've never, you might want to take some classes. Okay? If you've never been in that situation. My people and myself tend to be a little stubborn. Okay? Put 200% into it. We work for somebody else, but much rather do our own thing. So nobody can tell us what to do. And it seems like that, you got your own business, you have all the freedom and all the money and everything else. No. Even with what I do from home, it's 24/7. So think about it. Some of you might just want to focus on one project because you've got like 3 or 4 in the bin. Okay? And that might be just a little too much, and you may not be able to enjoy it. I'll put this up here just for my self-esteem. Thank you, honeybee. That's very nice. Okay. Oh, my goodness. Savannah just had a premature baby. She's making so many mistakes in life. Will they be okay? Baby's going to be fine, but we want to keep a track of the ears. She's going to have that situation with the swimmer's ear and the narrow tubes in the ears. So keep an eye out for that. Drainage is a problem with the baby over the years. Everything else is good. She may not always be what you think a mom should be. But she does mature. She does mature over time. And some things that cause her to be this way now won't be there in the future. If you know what I mean. Okay. Christopher, humanitarian project, will that be accepted? Well, now funding, I think that what they'll do is there'll be an initial estimate. You want to give them an initial estimate, ballpark of what this is going to cost. Okay. But along the way, so what they do is they're going to assign you a manager, and that manager will oversee the projects, like 3, 4, 5 people, depending on how many they have. At stages of completion, they'll sit you down in the beginning and counsel you on all that. And I do think that you can submit for additional funding if needed. It's only logical that should happen. Um, you know, but they'll sit you down and they'll say, okay, what do you need to let's put this in tiers here, of stages of completion. What do you need to get started? And you'll tell them, well, I got to buy the property, and I got to do this, and I got to hire staff, and I got to get, and then I can get to like this place. And they say, okay, go do that. We'll give you this amount of money for that. What do you estimate that's going to cost you? So don't go in there like, I don't know. Because they'll be like, well, okay, we're going to give you, I don't know. And so, and you're always going to want to ask for more. Okay. If you're going to bid a job, you're always going to want to pad that bid, because there may be something hidden in the walls in a construction job that you have to take care of. There may be, one of your raw materials or whatever is going to be higher. So pad it a little bit, give yourself some room for error. But as far as being approved, yeah, 1. I'm not quite seeing what you're doing there. Not a typical situation, so. But yeah. Oh, Jerry Ann, hi. I miss you. I haven't heard from you in a long time. I hope you're doing well. Thank you. Thank you for the love. You need to come talk to me. You need to come see me sometime. Okay, trouble sleeping. Sandra Louise, Jesus. What do we got going on there? Okay. You've got something malfunctioning with the adrenal glands. We're getting this mind racing at night. Mind racing. So we can't, although you can rest and get almost there, you're not getting all the way there. Too much adrenaline. Pretty common for some people. Well, I think you're getting enough air. That's what my first thought was. Maybe you're not getting enough air. It's really about the mind racing. So I would go to the doctor and ask of where your thyroid's at. All the hormone regulating and adrenaline regulating the system in your body, and have that checked, because I think that could be it. Trying to find who you are. I'll just ask. Sit. The way he said that. Stay. Don't do anything new right now. Okay? My advice, do what you want with your life, but I'm just saying, we as a community are going to have opportunities, and things are going to be good for us, but there will be, what I originally saw was things getting worse for the rest of the population, and that forces them to approve us going to gold and all the changes that come after that, because people are so fed up, and they're like, yes, even the normies, right? So we don't really know what's going to happen with that. And you may very well leave this job and get in as a new hire in another job, and then they decide to lay off. And who's going first? You. Stay put if you got something. Okay. Let's see any more questions. Okay, here we go. Well, let's look into that. Michelle, I'm losing my hair. First of all, you got psoriasis. Cradle cap, like a baby. Okay, so what they're showing me, Jesus showing me, is that when we had the babies and they had cradle cap, we would take like olive oil and just take a fine tooth comb and just gently get that layer off of the dead skin, so that the hair follicles can grow. The other thing is that so the nutrients that you need to create new hair follicles and keep them healthy, you're not absorbing. And I don't know how else to say that. So the biotin and the calcium, whatever, look into what a strand of hair is made of and nourish your body with that stuff. It's the best way to do it. Grandbabies. Lisa. Two to four. Depending on the decisions of somebody and who they want to be with or what they decide. That's all I can say at this point on that one. But yes, absolutely. Anything bothering me? Let's be more bothering my daughter, Regina. Be more specific about that. What do you mean? Like her health, or like is she upset about something, or between you and her? Cats not doing well. Be able to get into med bed right away for cats? No, it's going to be probably 2 or 3 years before we get the in-home or in-vet med beds for animals. I'm sorry. There actually, however, there will in the next year or so. There's going to be a lot more cures coming out for the average pet and the things that usually take them, therapies, things like that. But actually, for a med bed for the animals, they roll out the human first, and we will progress to a point someday where we've got an in-home unit that can cure. It's probably not as good, but it does some good. Delusional in seeing things. Is it loved ones coming to talk to her? Sometimes it's the medications they put the older people on. I mean, they drug them up. I mean, I know my Nana, she's never on anything whole life, and then they put her in the memory care unit and they put her on anti-anxiety medication. When I go to see her, she's just kind of like, duh. And I'm like, what the hell? Nana's on drugs. Why? Is, they say, oh, we give everybody that to keep everybody calm. What, so it's easier for you? So pissed off. Anyway, she's on something right now. Okay, give her a little time. But it is very common for somebody in that situation to receive guidance from loved ones that have passed, or even guides and angels. For one, to ask them, do you want to go? Are you ready? Or just to let them know if they are scheduled to go. Well, we'll be here to pick you up. Just let us know when you're ready. That happens all the time, whether it's in dreams or what. All right, what are we doing on time? Whoop, 2 minutes. Okay, so I gotta go. Got a reading in 2 minutes. Love you all. Get on over to right now, of course, JenniferFallaw.com if you'd like to book a reading with me or get a healing, anything like that. Remember, they are all for the healings. It's suggested donations. Helps me out. I help you out. I can give you gift cards for anything. Just email me after purchase. All right, I got to get going. I got a 15-minute You guys have a great day. It's happening.